What's up, guys? YGO Strats coming at you with a very belated This Week in Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, I've missed quite a few things here, but we're going to get right into it with some pieces of news for our Yu-Gi-Oh! Wants and needs. Obviously, there's this that presents new Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game product at Gamma Trade Show, not Gamma, but basically there's a trade show where they kind of showcase all the new products that they want to put out in the future. The most upcoming and soon-to-be thing is the Premium Gold Infinite Gold, which is coming out actually on the Friday of me making this video, March 18th of 2016. Basically, this is going to drop some amazing cards for you if you're not already aware, including 2 prize cards, number 106 Giant Hand and Dvorgzak King of Heavy Industry, which is basically a rank 4 and a rank 5, which have been prize cards prior to now, so basically you don't have to drop $800 on these cards to play them. They're now playable for you in the Shiny Gold Rare. Really good things to know about this set, though, is it's re-releasing all the Cosmo cards, more or less, and all of the Burning Abyss cards. Pretty much you get a full Burning Abyss playable deck, other than things like, obviously, the trap cards for some of it, and, Fiendish Shrine of Warrior is important in Burning Abyss right now, but we're going to get Great Hand Traps, Maxie's getting a reprint, Daigusto Emerald's getting a reprint, Archfiend Eccentric's getting a reprint for all you Magic Spectre players that maybe you don't want to spend $30-ish on it, or whatever it is now. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, I don't know if I said that already, but Treacherous Trap Hole, so many good cards are getting reprinted, Master Change Second, all that fun stuff. Pretty much just giving you full decks to play, and I very much unfortunately have to say that I presume things that will be hit sooner than later, or at least in the Cosmo realm, but that's my opinion and not a fact. Other good things to note coming up, obviously, Shining Victories is coming out on May 6th, which features a lot of Blue Eyes White Dragon support, the Morphage deck. Other things you can see here, the starter deck based on Yuya, who I guess is the character in the show. It's coming out May 27th. There's not too much exciting stuff coming out in that deck from what I know, but July 15th for Rise of the True Dragons. Yeah, Rise of the True Dragons is July 15th. That's the re-release of the Felgrand, all that Felgrand support. It's amazing art, amazing effects. Definitely going to be great for like Felgrand Blue Eyes, Felgrand Dragunity. A lot of fun things we can do with that deck. I'm definitely going to look forward to it. And actually, that might take up the realm in the OCG of competitive decks. I completely forgot about that one. But regardless, level 7 or 8 Dragon spamming. I gotta love that. Always entertaining. And then the other big things here are the actually our news and things that we didn't know would eventually be joining us is we've got the Dark Illusion set. Includes 100 cards filled with brand new deck themes, 10 never before seen cards, and support for recent and classic decks. Cues the return of legendary monster Dark Magician. So there's a lot of Dark Magician and Dark Magician support. From what I've seen of the Dark Magician support, it's pretty insane. They've got a card that searches any spell that includes Dark Magician in the text. So like Eye of Timaeus says, send one Dark Magician to the graveyard or whatever. And basically you can search out Eye of Timaeus with it, assuming that stays true in the TCG. I'm not 100%. I'm not going to try and lie to you. I'm not sure. Point is, it's a lot of new sets, or a lot of new support for Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, so they could be viable, if not in the, tier 1 sense, at least in the roguish realm bar the support. Obviously tiers are based on representation and not power level, but they've got a power level that if enough people played them, they could be in that rogue. They could get one top or something. Whatever, that's my opinion. And then Dragons of Legend Unleashed. We are getting a third follow-up to this set. Dragons of Legend, the first one was obviously fantastic. It released Hands, Mathematician, Soul Charge. A lot of great things from that set. Eye of Timaeus is a lot of fan favorite and pricey as hell card. Dragons of Legend 2 was not as favorable at all. Mirror Force Dragon, Claw of Hermos, Fang of Cratias, all that fun stuff. Cool TV series things, not much impacting the game, although it did have the Toon support. Basically, it's going to release some anime-exclusive cards, or cards that were exclusive to the anime up until now. Numerous foil cards from the manga and animated TV series that have never been seen before are now actual cards. So yeah, they're not giving us any details on what exactly, but I think there was a guy who had a lot of armor cards. There was a guy with like a sky ship or something. I don't remember it well. Basically, hopefully Hands, Mathematician, Soul Charge quality, and not as much of the Toon support, unfortunately. Obviously good for Toons, but like, Prediction Princess and Fancy Fish or whatever they were called. Just not much notable for the generic public. And then obviously we've got all new cartoons to watch if you're like 6, based on the quality of cartoons in America, apparently. I don't know. Whatever. Other good news to hear, we got V-Jump March 19th pack news. This synchro is ridiculous. Level 10 Dark Spellcaster Pendulum Effect, 3300 attack, 2500 defense, scale 8 Pendulum Effect. If your Pendulum monster attacks, that monster is not destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from it. At the end of the damage step, that your Pendulum monster attacked, until the end of the turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to the attacking monster's attack. So if you attack with like 1800, everything loses 1800. And even on Dark Destroyer, that's non-targeting, that drops Dark Destroyer to 1200. That's ridiculous. Monster effect only gets better. So it requires one tuner and one or more non-tuner synchro monsters. So it's a Excel synchro or whatever. If you synchro summon this card, you can treat one pendulum summon monster you control as a tuner. So you can treat your pendulum monsters as tuners instead of having to tune with it. That's ridiculous and makes it a lot easier to get out. If this card is synchro summoned using a pendulum monster that was pendulum summoned as the tuner. So if you use a pendulum monster as a tuner, you can target one card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can have your opponent's life points. And if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, place this card in the pendulum zone. So it goes into the pendulum zone unless you use stupid attack decreasing, like Catastor-esque effects. It can fetch things from the graveyard, and every time it attacks, it halves your opponent's life points, and that doesn't even mention the damage calculation that it does. So I'm not going to pretend to know where it falls. I guess after the monster is destroyed, it's after damage calculation. So you attack this with 3300 attack, and you say, you inflict 300 damage because you hit a 3000 monster, and they're at 77, and then you cut that in half, and they're at like 3650 or something. I'm not sure of the math off the top of my head. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. It looks pretty damn cool. There's your first Exceed Synchro. We knew we were going to get it. Or sorry, not Exceed Synchro. Pendulum Synchro, because we already got the Exceed Pendulum in the form of Odd Eyes Rebellion. But yeah, that's going to be insane. Scale 8 means it's not... There's no summoning conditions either, restrictions on the scale. So that's going to be stupid, I'm sure, if you can get it out fast enough. We also have Entermate, Life Swordsman. So basically, Performance Pal, Life Swordsman. Level 1 Light Warrior, donuts all around. When your opponent gains life points, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gains attack. No, its attack becomes equal to the amount of life point your opponent gained. So you don't gain attack, it becomes equal to. When this card is distributed, you can target one face-up monster on the field. That monster gains 1000 attack until the end of the turn. That's neat because it's any tribute. And then basically this combos really well with Tuning Magician, where they can gain 400 and you take 400 to summon it, and then you can just go quickly into Formula Synchron, which could help for the level 10, especially if you've got a level 8 on board, like Entermate Magician, or Enlightenment Paladin, quick, boom, boom, whatever, we don't know. One simple combo, I guess, would be Tuning Magician and that, but whatever. Other things important: Acrobat Magician. So this is Magician support, level 5 Spellcaster, Pendulum, 800 attack, 2300 defense, scale of 2. The Pendulum effect, you can only use the effect once per turn. When a monster on the field is destroyed by card effect or by an effect, special summon this card from the Pendulum Zone. Monster effect is if a spell or trap activation is negated, you can special summon it from your hand, and when this card is destroyed by battle, you can place it in your Pendulum Zone. So he kind of bounces around from your Pendulum Zone to your monster zone and whatever. He's level 5, so he's not 4 for 4 spam, but he's, solid for maybe a synchro play. 2300 defense, and not bad for just, getting something on board for material purposes, whatever they may be. We are getting Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant, level 10 Dragon Synchro, 3500 attack, 3000 defense. It requires 2 tuners and 1 or more non-tuner, so it's the same summoning requirements more or less, a little easier actually, but the same more or less as the Red Nova Dragon of 2 tuners. Cannot be special summoned except by synchro summoning, and the 1 and 2 effects can only be used once per turn respectively. So once per turn during your main phase, you can destroy all cards on the field except this card. During this turn, monsters you control other than this card cannot attack. And once per turn, when a spell or trap card is activated during the battle phase, negate the activation, this card's activation, and destroy it. Then this card gains 500 attack permanently. So it doesn't quite get as boosted as Red Nova does, but it's got more protection arguably. Actually, no, it doesn't. Red Nova can't be destroyed whatsoever. This guy can negate a spell or trap in the battle phase. So not horrible, not great, but definitely looks really cool. Other things we're getting: Red Mirror, Donuts, level 1 Fire Fiend. The 1 and 2 effects can only be used once per turn. effects. When your opponent declares an attack, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and then target one Fire Fiend type monster in your graveyard except for Red Mirror, and add it to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can Synchro Summon a monster, and you Synchro Summon a monster. You can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. This effect cannot be activated during the turn this card is sent to the graveyard. So, you can't do it both in one turn, but basically it lets you get back Fire Fiends from the graveyard, and then when you Synchro Summon, you can get it back in your hand to constantly recycle your little Fire Resonators, more or less. Other things we're getting: King Scarlet, Continuous Trap. When a Red Dragon Archfiend monster battles, during damage calculation, your monster cannot be destroyed by battle. And then special summon this card as a normal monster, Fiend's Tuner, level 1 Fire, Donuts for attack and defense in the monster zone, while still being treated as a trap card. So basically it lets you help get out Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant, more or less. And then actually we're getting Yugi's new Dark Magician Girls as well. There's Berry Magician Girl, level 1 Earth Spellcaster, 400 attack, 400 defense. If this card is normal summoned, you can add a Magician Girl from your deck to your hand, including the Dark Magician Girl. And once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack or by an opponent's card effect, oh wow, Maiden much, change this card's battle position, and if you do special summon one Magician Girl monster from your deck except Berry Magician Girl. So basically it's like Maiden, but a little bit better, because Maiden has to be changed to defense position, whereas this you just change its position. But basically it's Maiden for Magician Girls. Maiden with the Eyes of Blue being the Blue Eye support, if you're not sure on what I'm talking about. We have Apple Magician Girl, level 3 Fire Spellcaster, 1200 attack, 800 defense. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon a level 5 or lower Spellcaster monster from your hand. Then change the attack to that monster, and the attacking monster's attack is halved. So cut that. So if you attack with like 3,000, it's going to be attacking 15, and you can special any level 5 or lower Spellcaster monster from your hand, which unfortunately does not include Dark Magician Girl itself, because Dark Magician Girl is level 6 if I'm not mistaken. 2, when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, target up to 3 other Dark Magician Girls with different names in the graveyard and add them to your hand, so mass recycling. Targeted 3 monsters must have different names, not that you can't target a second dead apple. So 3 Magician Girls with different names, so you can grab Kiwi, Apple, and Berry. And then finally, Kiwi, level 5 Wind Spellcaster, 1800 attack, 1200 defense, kind of meant to be summoned off Apple, I'm sure. During either player's main turn, discard this card from your hand. Magician Girl monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense times the number of Magician Girl monsters on the field and in the graveyards, which I assume means both graveyards, until the end of the turn. And Spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed or targeted by your opponent's card effects. So basically, on-board March of the Monarchs, more or less, on legs. So, nice little combo pieces you have here. Very clearly meant to bring out Dark Magician Girl itself, and then Apple and Kiwi clearly have combos with each other. Other things we're getting from the promo news, we're getting this thing. It's a level 4 Meteor Hokai Device Duja. Not gonna pretend to know. Don't know what's in effect. It's Kyber Corp rare though, so it's got like a KC written on the card. 1600 attack and defense. It comes with the April 11, 2016 reissue of Shonen Jump. So we don't know the details yet, but it's probably going to be good, or history says it should be. We've got also Odd Eyes Persona Dragon, level 5 Dragon, Dark Dragon. I think we've gone over this before actually. 1200 attack, 2400 defense, scale of 1. Pendulum effect: if an opponent's effect is activated, it targets an Odd Eyes Pendulum monster on the field. During your end phase, special summon this card from the Pendulum Zone, then choose one face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum monster in your extra deck and place it into the Pendulum Zone. The monster effect: once per turn during either player's turn, target one face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck until the end phase of the turn. That monster's effects are negated. Can't see it too clearly here, but there is a new Blue Eyes art. It's Kaiba in front of Blue Eyes. It's pretty cool. Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, level 7 Dark Dragon Pendulum, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, so it's like a dark like a ghost version of Odd Eyes Pendulum, scale of 4 even, so same stats, scale, level, all that, attribute. Once per turn, the Pendulum effect: if there's an Odd Eyes card in your other Pendulum Zone when your face-up monster battles an opponent's monster, during attack declaration, your monster gains 1200 attack until the end of the battle phase. So you can just up by 12, not horrible. And the monster effect of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon can only be used once per turn. Or Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, sorry, can only be used once per turn. And it is when this Pendulum Summon card you control inflicts battle damage due to an attack, you can inflict 1200 damage to your opponent for each Odd Eyes card in the Pendulum Zone. So that can be pretty nasty, especially with like Odd Eyes Pendulum Unicorn, or Perform Pal Odd Eyes Unicorn is a scale 8, so you can bring this guy out no problem. So could be actually pretty devastating effects. And on to the next bit. So next up is the Collector's Pack, and they're clearly having trouble with their tags. I think it even says, yeah, tags are broken so horribly wrong. But regardless, we got our information. So So I don't know what that card at the top was, because the website seems to be having some difficulties, but we got this little winged angel guy, which is Red Nova, level 1 fairy, tuner effect with donuts. So many donuts this time around. If a level 8 or higher dragon-type synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon one Red Nova this way per turn. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material for a synchro summon using 2 or more tuners, you can special summon one Fire Fiend-type monster from your deck in defense position. So basically, if you get out Red Nova or Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant, it lets you get out another defense position Fire Tune. So basically, you can use your Resonators again to do more shenanigans, and it makes it easy enough to summon things like Red Nova and Red Dragon Tyrant. And I'm honestly questioning if I read Red Dragon Tyrant wrong and you need a Dragon type Synchro Tuner or something, but whatever. The point is, it makes it easier. You can normal summon one tuner, special summon this, and boom, you got it. Keep scrolling down and you will see, it looks like the original Pendulum guy, the non-Pendulum version. It looks like the Pendulum version is an upgraded version of him, which would make sense because I'm pretty sure this is probably what the guy summoned in the show and shenanigans the same way he probably summoned Dark Rebellion or Odd Eyes Rebellion. So we got Cardian. Can't say that name. Amishiko. Butchered that. I'm shaking my head. I know I butchered that. Dark level 8 warrior synchro effect. 1 tuner and 3 or more non-tuners. This better be Trishula on crack. So 4 monsters to make this guy. Cardian monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. During your opponent's draw phase, if they perform their normal draw, inflict 1500 damage to them. Okay. During your opponent's end phase, activate one of the following effects. Skip your next draw phase, negate this card's effects until your opponent's next standby phase. That's gotta be beneficial to the archetype. I don't see the benefit of skipping your draw or negating this guy's effects until your next standby. But if you're during your opponent's draw phase, inflict 1500 damage to them if they draw a card. That's stupid. So yeah, well, let's see what Cardians are. Hopefully, is this a Cardian? No, this is an Odd Eyes Dragon, man. Odd Eyes Dragons look so bizarre to me. Not gonna lie, like the orbs. I get the orbs because of the color, like pendulum, red, blue, but like, what am I looking at? Is that like a, I don't know, it's got like a lower abdomen thing sticking out, like, I don't know, like the, what are they called? Bugs have them. The very bottom piece of their part, they've got three, like an ant has the butt part. I don't know what it's called, forget it. This is about Yu-Gi-Oh! Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon, Dark, level 3, Dragon Pendulum. Pendulum effect, her scale is 8. The effect is once per turn when a face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one card in your Pendulum zone, and if you do, place one face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum monster other than Mirage Dragon from your extra deck into your Pendulum zone. And monster effect, during either player's turn, if you control an Odd Eyes card in your Pendulum zone, you can target one Odd Eyes monster you control. Once during this turn, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You can only use this effect once per turn. We're getting probably Performapal makes me uncomfortably. I'm sure someone at the locals is going to get a little too much pleasure out of this card or something, but Performapal Uni, level 4 Beast Warrior, hashtag tanky, 800 attack, 1500 defense. During the main phase 1 of the turn, this card is normal or special summon. You can special summon a level 3 lower Performapal from your hand in attack position. And during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card and a Performapal monster except from another Uni from your graveyard. Once during this turn, you can make battle damage that you receive become 0. So OTK stopper. And then we got another one, Performapal Corn. Uni and Corn. Okay, I get it now. 608,000 for his stats, level 3. So basically, you can summon Uni and Corn. Your Uni summons Corn. So during the main phase of the turn, this card was normal or special summoned, level 3 Beast Warrior. Target one Performapal monster with 1,000 or lower attack that you control. Change that target to face-up attack position, and this face-up attack position card to defense position. And if you do, add one Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. So if you swap their positions for each other, you can add one, I guess, like Pendulum summon one, and then, I don't know. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card and Performapal monster except Performapal Corn from your graveyard to gain 500 life points. Seems a little lackluster to me. I don't know. We'll see if someone proves me wrong. Looks like some shenanigans, though. So Uni and Corn, and then we got a new Exceed level 1. Ooh. rank 1. I like the look of this guy. He'll be in my binder at least. 2 number exceed monsters you control with the same name and rank. So 2 Utopias. Number 100 Numeron Dragon. Light rank 1 Dragon Exceed effect 0/0. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card. Increase this card's attack by the total ranks of all Exceed monsters on the field times 1,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. That's nice. When this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy all monsters on the field. Then each player sets 1 spell or trap from their graveyard. That's cheeky. And then when your opponent declares a direct attack, if this card is in your graveyard and you control no cards, you have no cards in your hand or on the field, you can special summon it. So, okay, the Tripping Mercury. It's all in English, wow. But that's cool, number 100, Numeron Dragon. So you gotta overlay 2 materials for it, and 2 Utopias, it just gets 2 materials. It doesn't get 4 materials from overlaying 2 Utopias. But basically, it can become a huge beat stick, especially if you're facing someone else that's using Exceed, which, spoiler alert, you are. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! And today, it's just everyone exceeds, unless you're playing like Synchron or Yang Zing. When this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy all monsters they control. So yeah, like when they get rid of it through card effect, if they Regeki it, you can set 1. Interesting card. I don't know if it's that great, but it's definitely cool and looks cool. So we got the Tripping Mercury is the card that was at the top. It is a level 8 Aqua effect water monster, 2,000 attack and defense. When this card is tribute summoned, you can change all monsters on the field to face-up attack position. You can tribute 3 monsters to summon this card. If this card was summoned by tributing 3 monsters, as long as this card remains face-up on the field, decrease the attack of all monsters your opponent controls by their original attack, and you can attack twice during each battle phase. So basically, if you tribute summon 3 monsters, what you get is this guy that makes all your opponent's monsters' attack become 0, and he can attack twice. And then he switches everything to attack for you so you can run stuff over, and because shadows aren't all that relevant, I don't think flip effects are going to be a concern for you. So it's definitely a neat card. Trade-in fodder as well could be of note. Maybe a cheeky tech for Monarchs now. Who knows? They didn't really lose monster support, so that's what they need, but I'm sure someone will try it out. Definitely a neat card. Other news, we got this other Dark Magician Girl, and this is pretty much the last card of the video. And by pretty much, I mean it is Choco Magician Girl. I can't even tell you anything about it. It's a water spellcaster, and its level is 4. And that's all we know right now. I'm sure it has another effect, and I'm sure this is a level 2 Magician as well, because we have 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Dark Magician Girl, so I'm sure there's a level 2 we'll see later on. But yeah, that's what's interesting. Definitely of news for me is that Pendulum Synchro Monster. That card is just absolutely insane. 3,300, and it's definitely that same guy beefed up in my opinion. That's what I have to say about it. But so cool to see. You know, the Synchro Pendulum Monster, definitely a lot more splashable in the Pendulum scale than Odd Eyes Rebellion was, but Odd Eyes Rebellion did search out any other card. The issue was it's scale 4, so it's just not as good, but that does fit Odd Eyes, so it makes sense. Anyway, there you go. That is my latest to date what's new in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I call it What This Week, but I'm just changing it to What's New. I just remembered now. Oops. Yeah, that's what's new in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Go ahead, leave a comment. Tell me what you're excited for. Dark Magician's obviously big news. I'm personally excited for the Blue Eyes stuff and the Felgrand stuff, because Felgrand was the first structure deck I bought. The Synchro Pendulum should cause some havoc. Cardian sounds like they'll be a little ridiculous, taking 1,500 damage for drawing a card, as the game rules state. Because if I can't draw, I've either been time sealed by a traditional format or unlimited format, or I lost the duel because I don't have a card in my deck to draw. But whatever, I'll take 1,500 for it. And yeah, that's a lot of new stuff coming out. Definitely stuff to be excited for. Dragons of Legend Unleashed, obviously, is my big thing. Premium Build 3 in just a few days after this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you next time on YGO Strats.